the event will begin in 38 minutes.
Okay, just keep checking. Wait, when you say
Testing.
1, 2, 3.
it's going to take about 20 seconds. Like now.
Yeah, pretty loud.
Testing. Testing. Testing.
If I have.
Are you ready?
Where's Highlander?
Yes, sir.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You ready, Rick?
Sir, it's buffering, playing nicer.
So it's picking up the sound from here. That we're speaking there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, sir, clearly, sir.
Okay, cool.
yeah, you can use that up talking there.
Please test again, sir.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You fine.
Sir,
Well,
I can still hear.
Did you hear him?
I can hear Mr. Postman, but I can also hear our voices.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Gabs, you can't do war cries, eh? You can't do war cries, this is live. Yeah. Because there's a mic right here, it's going to pick up everything. And chaps, you're supposed to spread out as well. Spread out. Oh, now the next three have gone to sit opposite the camera. He might have come. These are only the ones I know. Donna Roche, Sherwood, Suleiman, Otzenberg. That's it, I've got.
Okay, you guys are live on there, so. Do you know what side? Who's playing which side?
No, we haven't.
Steve. Should we just go? You can comprehend.
I can hear.
On. People are telling me that they can hear everything.
Okay, so go for it. Maybe we can switch you off and put you on when you're ready.
That's fine.
Okay, just mute.
No, that's fine.
Okay, you pick it up and go behind.
Right, you
Can I hold it there and then I'll just pass it on?
And then just if they kick for a penalty there, then just go. Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to Grahamstown Makanda here for today's clash between St Andrews College and Diocesan College Bishops from Cape Town. Bishops travelled up yesterday and have joined us here in Grahamstown Makanda for the last game of the season, and we've brought the weather up for them as well because it's a beautiful hot and sunny day, 34 degrees Celsius out here on Lower Field as the teams get ready to take the field. See the Bishops side come out of the changing room. And this is a fixture, Craig, that has happened here since 1896, so the 125th year of this fixture and the 97th time the two teams will meet each other. A bit like the clash earlier this morning, big rivalry between the two schools and a clash that is important to both teams.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Yeah, much like this morning, there's hopefully a nice contest here. I think both teams are looking forward to this. Clash has been going for many years, one of the biggest rivalries around the country. Fitting way for both of these groups to end their matric careers.
Yeah, just fantastic that we're actually able to get out here on the field and to be able to have this fixture despite all the difficulties and challenges that we faced through another tough year with COVID restrictions and restrictions on sport. And we know how important these games are to these boys as they play. Bishops waiting under the poles for the college side to emerge from the changing room. And here we got the Bishop side taking the field, being led on by Suleiman Hotzenberg. And the college team taking the field, being led on by Captain Luke Dankwitz. Bishops today playing in their away strips, are playing in their white jerseys away from their traditional platinum blue, and college in their traditional home strip in the 3-stripe. Yeah, number 1 referee, and obviously also Saru referee, done a number of Currie Cup games, so it's a privilege for us to have him here on lower reffing this game. Looks like it's St Andrews College that have got the kick-off, and they're playing down the hill with the wind early on. So they'll be wanting to take advantage of what you were saying earlier, Craig.
The sun factor as well, so I think all advantage to be playing from right to left to start. You've got sun in the eyes if you're on the left hand side, wind against you. Slightly up the hills, that's planning to go. Will definitely have to take advantage of it in the first half. Scoreboard, guaranteed missions will not make it count in the second half. Just about to kick off. You've got Sam Francis in the middle there with the ball. And they're about to go looking towards the side of the
Sam Francis with the deep kick into right wing. Jack Pace, who juggles it back across the inside. Imad Khan looking for touch. Finds touch just in front of us here, about 30 metres out from the Bishop's try line. First line up is
Take front, Andy, come back more, come back more. College, take front ball, boy. Come back, guys! Open this, let's go, Cap, just there, boy. Run the front, 17, come, boy! 18, 1, 13, 4, front ball is open, hey, let's jump, Cap.
Front ball to Price, off the top to Johnson, out to Lane, Lane to Jones, out wide, Sam Francis looking the outside gap, the fly half, got himself out wide early on in the loop. And it's good to see St Andrews trying to move the ball early, trying to play some rugby against this Bishop side. Janelle Johnson back out to Jake Boateng, I do. Nice little plus pass to Oliver Rose, who carries over, but there's a man strong over the ball. Johnson gets the ball out, Cameron Rafferty with the carry back into the traffic. Some slow ball here for St Andrews. Pick and go from Oliver Rose. Out the back, Sam Francis looking, ball to Nick Lane. Number of phases here from St Andrews, but not going very far. A little touch on there from Malibongwe. Janello, a little sniper on the back, but he gets caught and driven backwards in the tackle. And he's lost the ball forward. Oh, a little turnover from Gugumfazi, and Lubongo Mazwana with a big carry. It's obviously just shifted out to the centre today because of a late withdrawal. Johnson out to Lane. Oliver Rose with a little show and go. Carry into midfield. And there's a little tackler playing the ball on the ground there. Nasser de Kock getting away the penalty. And there's good patience there in attack from St Andrews, just taking it through the phases, looking for the weakness in the Bishop's defence, which held up very well in the beginning there, Craig.
Yeah, I think they did really well with the St Andrews guys. They weren't making any ground, but they stuck to their plans. They kept taking in, went through the phases. Patience, waiting for the gap to come, waiting for someone to just not quite be in position. And eventually they did get the little half gap, which gave them a bit of ground, some momentum. And I think a very good decision to take the 3 points early on, get some points on the scoreboard and get themselves set.
Sam Francis with a penalty, and it's straight through the middle, and that's 3-0 to St Andrews College. It's a good start early on. Imad Khan to restart here for Bishops. Kick low and deep onto Robbie Price, who knocks it backwards. Robbie Price got the ball back from Jones into a bit of space. Carry nicely. Setting up Berger here for Malibongwe Mkosi with a good carry. Back to Sam Francis, looking for a bit of distance off the kick. It's a great kick with the wind behind. It's just pulled into the 22. Unfortunately, the ball's just rolled dead into the end goal. It's a little bit too far. It's a great nudge from Sam Francis. A little bit unlucky that the bounce just didn't go in his favour.
So Bishops looking to get their first line out of the game. See what the referee's call. The referee's calling the scrum. No options over here. So first scrum of the game is always a big one. I think the guys will be checking each other out over here. Bishop's got a nice little place to put in the ball here. They're about 15 metres infield. So they've got a nice little blind side if they choose to use it.
Yeah, unfortunately, ball touch and goal means scrum where he kicked it from. Imad Khan to feed here, and this will be an important aspect of the game today. Craig, college fancy their scrum here, and it'll be interesting to see how they go up against the men from Bishops.
The entire Bishops backline lined out to the left hand side.
Scrum collapsed early, and Sindila will look to reset this.
Men from Bishops in the back line having a chat. Obviously got some kind of a set move they'd like to be using over here. The entire back line lined up to the left hand side. No look as though it'll come to the right, but you never know what happens. Maybe they've managed to flummox us here in the commentary as well. There we go, the pick up and go to the right hand side.
Imad Khan with a little break off the back of the scrum. Met physically there by Nick Jones. Strong carry there by the Bishops player. Ball out, Roach. Little show and go. Missed tackle through the middle. And he's just lost it in contact. There's a good little effort there from Cameron Rafferty to get his hand on the ball and rip it free as Roach tried to make a break through the middle there.
It's really unfortunate because Roach was really good there. Good show and go, good bit of pace. Actually turned the entire college defence, and Rafferty just managed to get back and make a telling tackle just in time. About a metre or so short of the line, managed to dislodge the ball at the same time, giving college a scrum down, and they'll be looking to clear this downfield, no doubt, as soon as they possibly can.
Worrying signs there for college with that first scrum. They just didn't seem to be able to get any kind of structure there with their scrum timing, and they'll want to sort that out as quickly as possible.
Campbell, the fullback from Bishops, busy getting his wingers sorted out in the areas where he's looking to have them. Calling Jack Pace backwards, expecting a big kick down the field.
Big carry here by Lubongo Mazwana. Will pop out the back. It's a little bit frantic, but somehow Janello's found himself a bit of space and having a little run from their own line. Lane set up back to Sam Francis. Again looking for his touch. He hasn't found a very big touch there. Line out to the Bishop's side, just inside the 22.
Unfortunately, I think that the ball was carried back into the 22 and then kicked directly out by the look of it. Judging by where that line out is, they may have just got that wrong there at the back.
Bishops with the pushing. Full line out at the back. Straight off the top and setting up the maul. St Andrews slow to react, but Bishops pull it out to Sherwood. Will pop in the tackle, not sure that went backwards, and the ref says no, it didn't, it was just popped forwards. That'll be another scrum to St Andrews. Bishop's just trying to force a couple of passes early on, but there are a couple of ominous signs that St Andrews are just off the pace here, Craig.
I think the difference between St Andrews' first possession, where they had a lot of patience, Bishops, as you say, maybe trying to force it a little bit, but they are looking very dangerous. I think if it starts paying off for them, they're going to make some ground here. There's been some good scrambles from St Andrews to manage the tackles and forcing the errors. But if Bishops start getting a bit of patience here, that might change things up a little bit.
Danilo Johnson to feed again. And again, the scrum's collapsed. Ndile might lose patience here soon. This seems to be going down every single time.
Yeah, we've on the third scrum, and each time it's been reset at least once so far. The referee will take control of that and just steady the boys. Obviously, you know, he's in the front row. The guys want to make it count early on, and everybody's just trying to get the upper hand on each other. And often it does take a little bit of time just to settle in properly. It's a big scrum from the Bishops boys, but well held there by St Andrews. Ball.
Get out the back, Gugum Fazi stepping back into the traffic, unfortunately, and
that was just stolen there by
Imad Khan. I think it is actually the scrum half who managed to get in there. Cameron Rafferty strong over the ball. Ball out here for Bishops again. Carey strong around the corner.
Numbers out to the left-hand side for Bishops as they're looking. St Andrews have
Roach, the big pass out the back.
Lacking a little bit of accuracy again, but again still looking dangerous. They managed to retain the ball. Looking to go through the phase. Met with a big collision there as it's running in on the fringes over there. And again, St Andrews on the scramble out towards our near side, getting the numbers out. And this time Roach was caught with the ball in hand there. Didn't manage to show and go this time.
Strong pick and go from Mills around the corner. Imad Khan looking for the ball. They're trying to put some width onto their game, but they're not quite making the meters around the fringes here. There's a quick ball. Let's see what they're going to do here. Again, they managed to just slow it down. Building a little bit more patience in attack this time around with a couple of pick and goes around the fringe. Strong defence around the fringes there from the St Andrews forwards. Imad Khan out the back to Roach, to Sherwood, to Suleiman Hotzenberg. Danilo Johnson trying to go in for the steal. Ball out, and unfortunately that little tip-on pass just forward there, and it's a great defensive set from the St Andrews team. Bishop's not being able to gain any momentum there.
Some good physical fronting up from the St Andrews boys there. Some big hits, made it count. Some big strong runs from the Bishop boys. So unfortunately the accuracy is just not quite what they're looking for at the moment.
The one thing that'll be worrying St Andrews at this point, Craig, is the fact that they can't seem to get out of their 22. They've had a number of scrums with their put in. They just want to make sure that they can exit properly here. They've had a couple of half breaks, but they just seem to be playing away from their supporter bit, and maybe just try and make sure that Sam gets us downtown and gets out of the territory as soon as possible here.
We've got another reset scrum again, so that's fourth scrum and again a reset. I do think that each of the scrums down in this 22-metre area so far for St Andrews, they've actually taken the ball and they've been looking to move it through a phase or two before clearing it. They might do well now just to give it to Francis, let him boot it down the field, put it out, get out of their half, relieve the pressure for a little while. Just give the guys a bit of time to breathe and switch off mentally for a few seconds before they get going again.
As expected, referee Sindile losing a bit of patience with the two front rows, Pitaway and Boateng Aidu. Just having a word there saying that they need to sort it out, otherwise he's going to have to go to the whistle. Seems like there's a lot of wrestling and juggling for position on the early bind between the two props. And you do well to sort that out early in this game.
Good hit from St Andrews this time, and their first positive scrum that they've had. Getting the ball out, setting it down the line to the wing.
Nick Lane through a gap to Gugum Fazi and then back to Lane again. Unfortunately, the pop back to Lane just seemed to be forward this time around, and again they've gone through that sequence of a little half break and then giving possession away. And
Gugum Fazi is making some runs all over the field at the moment. The fullback, he's taking a run down each of the wings at the moment, using his feet, very light on his feet. So far they've managed to contain him, and unfortunately just not quite getting the pass away down on that far side there to make it tell. Setting the scrum now. It's a nice position with a little bit of width and depth here for Bishops to attack. They've set themselves out, not lying very deep, as you can see on the screens there. They may be looking to put this up in there, or they may be looking for a crash in the middle with a reset on the with a reset for the forwards to come around.
Khan with the put in. Roach out to Sherwood, short ball to Hartzenberg, but he's dropped the ball. Sam Francis has picked it up and taken it up on the pitch there. Ball out, Janello Johnson with a little crossfield box kick. Not much of a chase from St Andrews, but the ball's bounced nice and high. Dankwitz is there early to make the tackle on Nasser de Kock. Bishop's rephrase, Imad Khan. Little pop out the back and a big tackle on, I think that's Mills there, by Libongo Mazwana. And another turnover out the back. Sam Francis carrying back into the traffic. Little grubber to himself. Pressure on Jack Pace as he tries to play it backwards, and the ball's gone into touch, and St Andrews will have the put in the Bishop's 22.
Mazwana stayed down after that big hit there in the middle of the field. One of the other St Andrews boys as well has stayed down. Can't quite see the number, Jerry. I don't know if you can see who that is there.
So Jake Boateng and Libongo Mazwana both down, holding their shoulders.
Big hit in the mid there.
Both, I think.
Yeah, big hit in the midfield again, and again dislodging the ball. Another unforced error from the guys from Bishops. So the pressure and the big hits, the manning up and getting confrontational from the St Andrews guys is paying off for them so far.
I think with the heavy temperature here, the ref just giving a water break halfway through the half for a bit of a chat for the coaches. See the Bishops coaches running onto the field during the strat break here, just trying to give in a bit of advice to their team. St Andrews will do well here to just put a bit of pressure on the Bishop side and just get a bit of patience in attack here. Both players are up on their feet, but clearly still holding those shoulders. Both two very tough and strong men. You won't get them off this field too easily. Both matric boys in their last game for their school, so they'll be looking to guts it out if they can.
It's definitely going to take a lot to get anybody off of this field today if they don't have to do it. So definitely the guys are going to man up if they can. So we've got a line out here on the attacking 22, on the Bishop's 22 for St Andrews. They're lining up the backs. Again, also not too deep. Again, looks like they might be either doing a wraparound or crashing it into the middle, one or the other. Let's have a look at the line out though. Last one went to number 2. It was an easy, comfortable ball. Let's see where we're going this time.
Ball in the front, just overthrown, tap back on the Bishop side. Rafferty come through, makes the tackle, needs to release there. Imad Khan back to Bruce Sherwood, who's looking for touch. Popped it out just outside the 22, and St Andrews will have another put in.
That's a good clearance from Sherwood over there under a lot of pressure. Bishops will be happy to take it outside of the 22, reset it again, and hopefully make a steal again. St Andrews will be looking for a little bit more accuracy in the line out over there, just over the top, and unfortunately also not gathered at the back, so Bishops managed to get the steal. The referee just asking the lines to open, to keep the gap in the middle, make it a fair contest for all the players. The lines have closed up, static at the moment. The referee seems to be happy though. Ball out to the back, really well held up and setting up the maul. The ball has gone to ground. They're going to have to get it out to St Andrews guys there.
Ball out the back, Johnson to Lane. Lane, little show and go, takes on the line himself. Over the top, Dankwitz with a little carrier on the side, who's made meters. Ball just a little bit slow, but the St Andrews forwards have lined up here again, out the back to Francis, who puts a little grubber into the corner for Conroy. And unfortunately the ball beats everybody into touch. And it'll be Bishop's put in about 10 metres from their own try line.
Not a bad option on the line. They were met defenders 2-on-2 on the outside. Nobody at the back. Had that ball been a little bit straighter, it just would have been a foot race for the cover coming and the guys chasing on the ball. So not the worst option in the world. Unfortunately, just not the result that St Andrews were looking for. And I think the guys from Bishop will be happy to get another line out here.
Josh Micha with a put in here to Ali Bruce off the top. Khan, big carry by the loose forward in the middle. Bit of a missed tackle there on Steinhofen. Imad Khan with a kick over the top. Back to field, that is Nick Jones. Thinks twice and then goes back to the outside and finds a little bit of space. carries strongly. Oliver Rose over the top and the forwards backed up. Pop out to Nathan Myberg.
It's a great flat ball over there in the midfield. Made some good yards, about 10 metres up.
Ball needs to go now quickly. Oliver Rose, a little show and go. Lost in the contact, unfortunately. Good tackle by Nick Jones.
It's the third or fourth tackle Nick Jones has put in already today. He's been working hard, hasn't missed anything to date. Definitely doing his job and earning his keep on the outside. Another strong carry up the middle, and unfortunately another lost ball. The referee saw something on before that. Looks like a knock on from St Andrews just on the 22 metre from Bishops.
Unfortunately, Oliver Rose just losing it in the contact, and he stayed down injured there. Hopefully, no, it looks like another shoulder. And St Andrews players at first aid seem a little bit more worried about this one, yeah. St Andrews certainly making some big physical challenges all around the field here this afternoon. Been very, very good defensively. But one or two gaps appearing in the midfield, and they need to make sure that they close those up as we go through.
Come, let's go, Ralph!
Medics genuinely seem concerned here. Oliver Rose trying to talk him into staying on the field. Kelly McKenzie, the team physio, is there now having a look, and I think she'll make the final decision. And it looks as though that is the end of it for Oliver Rose. He's been taken off the field. I don't know if there's a replacement on as such yet. Maybe just getting a bit of a look first.
No replacement yet. They look like they're about to put Zanandi Zamani on. And it's a big blow to St Andrews because that's their line-out general leaving the field. Need to make the sub straight away because it's a scrum to Bishops just on the 22 as Zanandi takes the field. Big right-hand blind side here for Imad Khan. I'll certainly be looking for this, but Sam Francis has added the extra defender on the blind side for St Andrews. Ball out the back to Khan though. And he looks for touch up around the halfway line. St Andrews put in just inside their own half.
Numbers, oi! Numbers!
Men from Bishop are quite well aware there with the call that they've lost their line-out jumper. They're well aware of the role that Rose was playing. It's a massive contest over the ball both ways. I think the referee could have given that to either team over there.
Unfortunately, he'd only played the ball back towards the St Andrews side at Luke Dankwitz once he left his feet. So that's what the penalty is for there. And Bruce Sher would be looking for touch here and put Bishops back on the attack. Found a very safe touch just outside the college 22.
It's 3 phases and 3 kicks down the field, so within 3 kicks from their 22 metre, they're almost on the St Andrews 22 now. Done really well with just managing the field possession here with the penalties and with the loose play with the 1 kick as well.
Just compound errors from St Andrews, one mistake on top of the other, allowing Bishops to move back up the field. Full line out here for Bishops again.
notable difference between the line-outs so far. Bishops have gone full every time. St Andrews have been on the shorter option. That ball right to the back to the number 8 ball, well taken, well secured, and ball scrappy along the ground, and unfortunately knocked on there. Was that the number 12? I think that was that Sherwood with a knock on.
Side Suleiman Hartenberg
knocked on in the midfield, unfortunately. And again, another unforced error. Those unforced errors are keeping St Andrews in the game and keeping Bishops out of the game at the moment.
Unfortunately, it's a set piece that St Andrews need to make sure that they can fix here. I'm not sure what's happening here now. Looks like there's another water break. I'm sure we've just had one.
I think this is actually the official water break now. The other one was just while the medics were on, they took advantage of that.
Okay, so that's halfway through the first half. St Andrews still leading 3-0. Both teams, obviously, as we said, it's about 33, 34 degrees Celsius out here today. So they're just taking advantage of the opportunity to hydrate the players a little bit.
I think all the players, I see the referee's enjoying his water as well. The players will be, they'll definitely be enjoying this after winter, not having played a lot of games. It's been pretty cold in Grahamstown recently as well. This is one of the warmer days we've had for a long time. So the guys training in Grahamstown would not really have experienced this kind of weather and been running around in this for quite a while now. So they'll definitely be enjoying their water break. Maybe a bit of a strategy chat there from the coaches from Bishops, and no doubt they'll be asking the boys just to retain the ball, have patience and just hold on to the ball. Don't force anything. Be careful when you're going in, protect the ball in contact. And if they manage to do that, I think they'll be putting the St Andrews guys under pressure.
What do you think Coach Andy Royal is saying to St Andrews' team here, Craig?
Well, I think, he'll be very happy so far with what he's seen physically with the guys manning up. I think the guys have scrambled around on defence quite well. But I do think that they've been looking a little bit tired there just before the break. As you mentioned earlier, a couple of gaps appearing. So you'll be asking for the guys just to pick up the work rate a little bit. Yes, I think all in all, neither coach is going to be terribly disappointed with the first half of the first half. But I don't think either coach is going to be terribly happy either. Yeah. I do think that Coach Andy Royal will be asking that the guys make use of this wind advantage that they got. The wind has picked up quite a bit now, and they're not going to be able to clear the ball, in the second half and use the wind like they will. Yeah, so they definitely need to take advantage while they got the chance.
I think Wes Chetty was just be saying to his team here just to make sure they hold on to the ball a little bit better. And keep control through a couple more phases, as they seem to have had St Andrews defence at 6s and 7s at times, and then just spilt the ball in contact or thrown a forward pass. And all through the water break there, it looked like Jake Boateng was receiving some attention, and it looks like he's now been taken off by St Andrews, and they're going to be waiting for a replacement there.
That goes all the way back to that shoulder knock on the big tackle that was made just inside the Bishops 22 around that first water break that we had, and obviously thought to give him the benefit of the doubt, being his last game, just to see if he could carry on, but the medics have now made the call that he needs to be off the field. So this is another big sub for St Andrews, losing their number 1 and their number 5 first choice starters. The guys running on, I'm sure, are going to relish the opportunity, and they're going to have to step it up to make this team count.
Both players also players that were selected for Jake Boateng for the EP Cravenreek side, Oliver Rose for the EP Academy side. So they're big blows to the St Andrews effort here this afternoon. Pop out there to Ethan Bretsky, who tries to carry the ball up. Do well to take it through a phase here. Ball to Aaron Hepburn. He's the replacement on for Jake Boateng.
A lot of space behind the Bishops guys on our near side.
Box kick from Janello Johnson over the top. Dropped there by Holmes.
Not taken cleanly, but the ball did go backwards, and they've made a really good recovery with a fantastic kick down the field and out inside the 22 meters. St Andrews looking to take it quickly, but the Bishops guys were up really, really well, putting pressure on there, and they'll no doubt put pressure on the St Andrews line out. There was a great clearance, being under pressure inside their own 22.
Great kick there from Imad Khan. St Andrews just seem to be rushing those kick exits a little bit, and they don't really have the chase behind it, which they should have if they want to put Bishops under pressure. Luke Dankwit's under pressure here because he needs to make sure we get a bit of a... But he gets a line-out win here without losing one of his key lifters and key jumpers in Oliver Rose. Ball to the back to Rafferty, who gets it back towards the St Andrews side. Out to Sam Francis. To Mazwano, who takes an outside gap, pops up to Nick Lane. To Bretsky. Again, the St Andrews side has taken it through a lot of passes and not made many meters as a result. Carry here from Mazwana, tackle in low by the Bishops player.
The patience will be the key here. Another box kick over.
Johnson.
Holmes this time making
missed.
sure.
Roach with a great carry, fly half, Johnny Roach. St Andrews just missing those first up tackles. Imad Khan out to Nasser de Kock.
Really
Trying to
big
get
hole
some
in the
momentum
St
around
Andrews
the pitch.
midfield over here between the 10 and 12. Massive gap over there. I wonder if the Bishops guys have spotted it. And penalty to Bishops, not releasing the
Quick
player.
tap
not
from
running
Imad
away.
Khan, and he's off on the left-hand touchline. Big handoff by him. A pop-in contact. And again, another pop-in contact. Hartzenberg, and it's Hartzenberg over in the left-hand corner.
And those are the balls that weren't sticking just now at the unforced errors. And exactly as we mentioned just now at the little water break, if those start sticking, and that's what the coach will be asking for, St Andrews could be under a lot of pressure.
And another St Andrews player down there. This looks like Sam Francis, the catalyst of the team, and they really won't want to lose him at this stage of the game. St Andrews just giving away too many penalties, and unfortunately Craig just compounding the errors, giving away one after the other, or giving away possession and then giving away a penalty, and Imad Khan just seizing the opportunity there for the quick tap, and St Andrews just not reacting quickly enough in order to stop their momentum. A couple of good offloads in the tackle, and Hartzenberg manages to get over the line.
It's looking as well, the guys are trying to, the St Andrews guys trying to make up lost ground. Once the error's there, it's been made. You can't make up for it. You've got to just stick to your process, stick to your position, do your job. And a lot of the guys look as though they are sort of maybe running out of position, trying to do just that little bit more than what they need to, and leaving gaps in other areas, which are then getting exposed at the moment. Maybe everybody just needs to just focus on their job. And if everybody does their job, they'll be able to go back to the structures they had, where the defence was really good for the first 15 minutes of the game.
Imad Khan with the conversion just gone a bit wide there, and so 5 points to 3 the score to Bishops. St Andrews Sam Francis still receiving some attention just out 5 meters outside the college try line. Seems to have a bit of a cut there. He's just getting some tape to the head. St Andrews forwards just looking a bit disjointed, but I think they're just trying to buy some time while Francis receives some attention down the other side of the field.
They've done well so far with a non-essential player being down, and they managed to keep the referee entertained while Francis is getting tended to. This has now been given to Nick Lane to take the kick off. Bit of a torpedo kick, but works well contested by St Andrews, but well taken and secured by Bishops.
Imad Khan to Roach. Roach to midfield to the 8th man, Steinhagen with the carry. And he has a second go on the ground, which is what the penalty's for, just having a second roll. He's not allowed to have a second movement once he hits the deck.
It's another big contact from St Andrews.
Slow it down here. And Sam Francis comes jogging in from the opposite side of the field, shouting to the players, hold, hold. He obviously interested in a shot at goal here.
The decision has been made. St Andrews will take the kick and try and get themselves back into the lead. Francis will just need to take the time to compose himself. Being down, being out of the game, no doubt he would have been itching to get back in, taking a run across the field now. Just needs to compose himself, not rush, focus on the kick, and he'll be back in the game after that.
The Bishops players looked a bit perplexed at that penalty, but referee 100% correct. You only have one opportunity to place the ball. You can't then recoil and have another go on the side, which is what the player did. Hence the penalty to St Andrews. Francis with the penalty, and it's straight through the middle, and that's 6 points to 5. St Andrews back into the lead here, and it'll be a good. It's a good 3 points that, Craig. It just settles down the St Andrews team a little bit. They need to sort themselves out a little bit.
First opportunity St Andrews have had to put points on for quite a while, and they took it very well. Well composed from Francis. St Andrews now need to just get this ball back and put it back into the Bishops' half if they want to put a bit more pressure on. So deep kick.
Onto Ethan Bretsky. Ethan Bretsky carrying back at the defence with a good little step. Made a couple of meters. He'll do well just to hold on to the ball. Danilo Janssen with the box kick from inside his own 22. Players are back there. Big pass on the top middle of the field. It's Imad Khan. He's thrown it again. Fly off outside here is Johnny Roach. Pop back inside for Jack Page. There's a bit of pace here for a bit of space for Suleiman Hartzenberg. Outside to Roach again. And it's Roach in the corner.
There was some really good play from the Bishops guys. 3 or 4 passes inside, outside, reading the situation while reading where the defenders were. Not giving the defenders time to actually commit or make a tackle or slow them down. Basically just turning the shoulders left and right. Found the gap and then paced down the outside.
Yeah, it is some very good counter-attack play in the midfield there. St Andrews just not up quickly enough to shut down the wide pass. They just gave them the outside, and by giving them the outside just created a bit too much space for the Bishops players. Imad Khan lining up the conversion.
It's a really good striker from Imad Khan right down the middle, adding the 2 points.
This time he doesn't make the mistake, and that's 12 points to 6. See the signal from the referee. There are 2 minutes left in the half.
St Andrews would be looking to put some pressure on the kickoff over here and hopefully get the ball back. They'll be looking in the last 2 minutes to try and get a couple more points on the board if they possibly can. Go into the half, either up or just behind. It's 12-6 at the moment. I don't think St Andrews will be happy with that scoreline going in at the halftime break.
Sam Francis here with the kickoff. I think he'll be looking to put it deep and put the Bishops side under pressure again.
Really high kickoff into the sun. And straight out, unfortunately, just a little bit too long, by about half a metre too long. And we're going to go back to the middle of the field for a scrum. Most likely going to be the last play of the half. If we have any reset scrums in particular, let's see, the referee's actually walked to the side of the cricket pitch. He's not going to let the guy scrum down on the pitch. So they're about 25 metres into the about 20 metres into the middle of the field.
Unfortunately, Craig, we've seen the result of those compound errors again. St Andrews really just needed to put that deep into the Bishops 22, but instead they made another mistake, and now it's really advantage Bishops again.
Bishops have brought 2 players off to the blind side of here.
Bishops definitely coming to the right here. Imad Khan, Suleiman Hartzenberg set up on the right-hand side. Steinhagen out the back to Khan. Will show and go. Will pop out the back, but Nick Jones does well to get in between, and he's got his hands on the ball. Rafferty in straight over the top. Out to Malibongwe Mkone. Nick Lane, little show and go. Man's not afraid to take it up. Again out to Sam Francis, who now drills it down the pitch into the corner, and Mazwana's back after it. Roach is on his own in the backfield, and he kicks the ball, but I don't think it just rolls into touch just over the halfway line, and that'll take us into half-time with Bishop's last score just taking them into the lead at half-time, 12 points to 6. In an interesting half, Craig, a little bit of a battle of sort of 3/3 there. St Andrews sort of dominating the first third, Bishops fighting their way back into it, and then the last third it pretty much was all Bishops.
I think what we saw there was in the first third, we saw Bishops were the ones who were making the unforced errors. St Andrews were really well composed on defence. They were really patient. They were doing everything right. Started coming right for Bishops towards the middle third, and in the last third of the game, there exactly what you're saying about the compounded errors. I think St Andrews started making too many errors. They were the ones making the unforced errors, and Bishops then managed to capitalise from that. 12-6 at half time. I think that Bishops would probably be happy with that. I think they probably deserve their lead going into the half time, and I think it's going to be a really tough second half for St Andrews playing up the field into the wind to make it come back from that, and momentum as well, also with the Bishops guys at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. The wind that was here in the beginning has just seemed to have died down a little bit, but coming down the hill in this on lower field, you know that's a big advantage, and so it'll be interesting to see how the second half unfolds. We'll see you in about 8 minutes or so for the start of the second half. All right, welcome back as we see the Bishop's side take the field here again. St Andrew's side just chatting off on the side of the field in the shadows, and you'd imagine that Coach Andy Royal just saying to the team here to gain a little bit of composure, to make sure that the new players know their roles, and to make sure that they continue to build on the physical pressure which they exerted early on. Maybe they can have a little shot still in this game.
I think that's been one of the biggest factors so far. St Andrews have been really physical in their tackles. They're trying to make positive hits, whether they're tackling, whether they're carrying the ball, and they're trying to be very positive. There's been some massive hits, and I think if they want to dominate or get ahead in this game, they're going to continue to need to dominate in the physical presence, and then they're going to have to build then on retaining the ball as well. From a Bishop's point of view, they just want to carry on building where they have, retaining the ball, they're finding the gaps, they're riding the hits really well so far. So they'll be looking to just build on what they've done in the first half, and no doubt I think they'll be running the ball a whole lot more. I know I've made mention of the field and the downhill and the wind, but Bishops are looking quite dangerous with ball in hand, and I think they'll be looking to run more than what they'll be looking to kick.
Yeah, they've certainly been able to manipulate their game breakers into key positions on the field during the first half, or certainly in the last part of the first half, and I think you'll be seeing more of that. Hartzenberg, one of the top schoolboy players in South Africa for the last 2 years. We'll be looking to see him in a bit more space in the second half. Imad Khan, obviously a very exciting schoolboy scrum half as well. It's him that'll get the second half started here for Bishops. He'll be kicking off. St Andrews still getting organised here.
Relatively short kick, about onto the 22, but really well chased up. St Andrews not looking to clear immediately, but rather looking to run it. Quick offload, little show and go, another offload. Really good hands there from St Andrews, and coming out positive and coming out firing, which is good to see.
Great carry by Malibongwe Mkosi, but unfortunately as he tried to transfer it, he lost the ball in contact. Another costly error by St Andrews, just as they were looking to gain some momentum. Ball out the back, Hartzenberg will show and go. And strong handoff there. Made some good meters there.
Good solid ball secured, a little bit slow, but they set up
ball to the right
well
to
of
Mills.
Bishops.
Great tackle by Nick Lane. Out the back, strong carry by the Bishops players. Nathan Myberg in over the top, and it's Nathan Myberg with a great turnover steal. St Andrews desperately needed that because there were big numbers out here on the left-hand side. And it was good play by the tight head prop.
Myberg's been working really hard. He's made a couple of big hits, really good steal. You don't see a lot of that from the tight head, so the school will be really happy with that. His team will be happy, and no doubt he's quite happy with the way his game is going so far. Francis with a clearance coming out to around the halfway line, just a little bit into the Bishop's half, and St Andrews will be looking to take it from here, probably put it down the line and test out the defence in the back line of the Bishops team. Line out right in front of us over here. Coming in short on numbers again. We're looking like a 5-man line out from St Andrews again.
Five-man line out called here by St Andrews. Luke Dankwitz to St Andrews. Uko just trying to drive the ball as it ended up in the ditch off on the side here.
Come ready? Next one is. Hey, onside.
Luke Dankwitz is put in.
Pod set up at right in the first centre for St Andrews.
Tap back
Good
on the St Andrews
contest.
side. Somehow a sloppy ball, and it's been kicked through by Bishops. Malibongwe Mkosi's done well to retreat and clean that up.
I think we might see the referee going to his pocket over here. It was a really good tackle, but I think he managed to just get the legs up beyond the horizontal over there, chasing back. I think the referee's definitely going to have a word. We might just find that somebody's going to be in a little bit of trouble over here. St Andrews players stayed down after their tackle. So sloppy line out. Initial tap back should have been secured. It wasn't a terrible slap back, but the St Andrews guys just didn't clean it up and managed to get a boot in there by one of the Bishop's players, putting St Andrews under all sorts of pressure and chasing it up 30 metres from the halfway all the way onto the 22 metre, putting St Andrews under all sorts of pressure there, managing to get back and scramble. And I think probably fortunately for St Andrews, Bishops managed to give away a penalty there.
Unfortunately, this injury looks quite serious here to Malibongwe Mkosi. Player's just been called away, and the referee not very happy, and he's given a yellow card to the player for lifting the legs past horizontal.
I don't think anybody was complaining about that. The Bishops guys knew, they turned, there was no argument to the referee. I think it was sort of, I don't think there was anything malicious in it, hence maybe not a red card. It was just a tackle back and a bit of a rush of adrenaline, and it just happened to get the player just in an awkward position. No arguments from either side about the yellow card there.
I think part of the reason for no argument there, Craig, was that I think he might count himself lucky that it wasn't red. If you drive the player to the ground and lift his legs past horizontal, you take your chances of staying onto the field into your own hands. I think he's very lucky, and it's the second tip tackle today that has basically taken two St Andrews locks off the field, or possibly if Malibongwe leaves the field here.
A fair amount of time given to the medics, and I think the referee's done well to handle this. He's been very calm, he's calmed the players down. I think he's given the medics time to do what they need to do and just make sure everything's okay, no massive injuries, no suspicion of injuries to the neck or the back after that. Let the medics do their assessments. Referees handled the situation really well. Both captains there just shaking hands. I think the referee just asked everybody to calm it down.
The referee just asking the captains to have a word and to stop with a little bit of off the ball that's just starting to happen.
Sam Francis with the penalty, and he's put it out into the Bishops half again. That's the third or fourth line out here right in front of us, about 5 metres into the Bishops half. And let's have a look. St Andrews look like they are sending up a shortened line again. There's definitely guys who stayed back in the back line, and again we're looking at a 5-man line out again for St Andrews. They're persisting with this tactic of 5 men, maybe because of being a lifter and a jumper down, so probably a good tactic from the captain. They just need to make sure they secure this ball this time.
Tackle to the put in, into Mkosi, taken out in the air, but the referee says play on. Sam Francis just pushes it back into the corner, and unfortunately straight into touch.
St Andrews questioning the referee just on if the player was taken out or not. The referee seemed to be happy that, obviously calling that the Bishops guys were contesting for the ball, and he saw nothing in that.
Again, very lucky to get away with that. Of course, he clearly played in the air in front of us here.
All right, this time it's
the put in the reserve hooker. I think it's Dutton to put the ball in here. Off the top, big pressure on Roach, carries the ball up, a little switch play back to Bruce Sherwood, who's found himself in a bit of space, and a big handoff on Gugu Mfazi, and he's straight through the middle and under the poles.
Oh, unfortunately, it looks like he's lost the ball when he's trying to put it down there, and the referee has called it. A ball has been lost over the line with the one-handed put down. St Andrews with a get out of jail free card there.
As he went to go put it down with the one hand, Craig, it just popped out of his hand, and he's fortunately locked it on. So really did deserve a try after that outstanding run from Bruce Sherwood.
Absolutely fantastic run, well set up from right off the top of the two ball in the line out. Great pass out to the back line, a really good, well-timed run. Good handoff, good feet, good pace. Just unfortunately didn't manage to finish off what would have been possibly one of the tries of his career.
St Andrews do well to exit here under pressure. Put in by Janelo Johnson.
Big scrum from Bishops.
Ball to left to Libongo Mazwana. Carries strongly. Nello trying to organise his carrying pod, just bringing it 15 metres in from touch.
St Andrews have done well so far with setting up the exit. It's now just about retaining their ball. Bishop's fighting, man over the ball. Cleaned off just in time, I think.
He's turned it over. Nasser de Kock very strong over the ball and has done a great job. Malibongwe Mkosi does well to come in and scrag, but now Bishop's got turnover ball.
Hands up from both teams. Something went on over there. The referee's given the scrum down to St Andrews.
Imad Khan just held on for a second too long, trying to throw the big pass out to his big centre, Bruce Sherwood, and Cameron Rafferty chased around the corner and got him man and ball and knocked it on. Again, St Andrews just playing one too many phases in their own 22 and putting themselves under unnecessary pressure. The exit does need to come earlier.
They set it up really well with one on the sideline, took it in about 10 metres, as you said there, Jerry, but that third pick and go just wasn't necessary, and that's what put them under a lot of pressure again. They did really well with setting up the exit, and one phase too many has cost them, and obviously scrumming now on their own 22, possibly looking to exit from there now.
The collapse scrum and a reset. Referees come across this near side here to have a look at the battle between Mansfield and Myburg.
I think there's been a reset scrum on just about every scrum option so far. The referee has held patience, but I don't know if that will last for the game. Really strong scrum from Bishops, pushing through. St Andrews did well to secure the ball and come back. Big tackle there by, was it Khan?
Mr. Cock with a big tackle on Rafferty. Rafferty wasn't quite sure what he needed to do there. Sam Francis gone into scrum off, gives it out to Lane. Lane scrambling, trying to get a kick away, and it's a little vur skop, as they say, down the middle. Imad Khan with a big pass, and now there's lots of space out here for Hartzenberg. Fuzzy with the hand off, getting handed off, and back on the inside here. Come the Bishop's carry. Khan back to Steinhagen, good tackle by Samani. Khan again. St Andrews looking to get some momentum, some line speed and defence.
St Andrews up quickly on the line there. I think that is important. Managed to stop before the big men got their momentum there.
Jones
numbers on the outside, on the right hand side.
Bruce Sherwood straight through the middle, easy as you like. Little 5-on-2, and he's in under the poles for the try. He should have probably scored 3-4 minutes earlier, Craig.
I think you'll be happy to make up for that now. You'll be happy he's got the 5 points, but I think St Andrews there found wanting with the numbers on the outside. Guys just weren't moving around quick enough. Bishops got themselves outside there, and as you said, 5-on-2 maybe, not even needing the numbers outside because obviously the space was there. It just ran through the middle there, that Sherwood. So quite a simple kick right in front of the poles. Carnaby looking to add to his tally and add to the tally for Bishops.
Now, unfortunately, again, St Andrews is really struggling to exit, and then just compounding those errors again. There's too many errors from the St Andrews team early on here in the second half, and they'll be wanting to cut those out if they want to be competitive in this game.
Come boy.
So that converted try, that's the first points. Is that the first points of this half here, Jerry? I think that was.
Is indeed. So
indeed, 19 points to 6 for Bishops. And they'll be happy with the way they started. It's been all Bishops. They've had all the pressure on St Andrews. They've been camping in the half, and they'll be very happy to come away with a 7-pointer after all of the pressure that they've been putting on.
Sam Francis here with the restart.
A little bit closer. Yeah.
Looking for a high restart. The restart has gone short here. Only about 2 meters over the 10 meter.
Taken by Malibongwe Mkosi,
really
off to
good.
Nathan Myburg with a big strong carry up the middle. Nathan Myburg bullocking forward. A couple of the boys from the boarding house sneaking out onto the field, enjoying that carry from Myburg. But unfortunately, the ball's been turned over again, and Imad Khan's got an opportunity to get his forwards up over the gain line.
That's better. That's it. Get back.
Sherwood with a kick, a little bit off the side of his boot. regained, but unfortunately he was in front of the kicker and called back by the referee. And it's called back, the penalty to St Andrews on the 22.
Marburg will be a little bit disappointed after that with a really big strong carry, good hit, managed to get across the gain line and then just unfortunately lost the ball over to the Bishops guys, and St Andrews I think happy that the penalty comes their way for ahead of the kicker there, and they managed to keep the pressure on, putting the ball out there around 10 metres or so from the Bishops.
Rafferty makes a good tackle there on the retreating player.
Again, unfortunately with the ball lost.
Khan with the box kick. Sam Francis has fallen back. He's the one taking the ball, and he's off on a little counter attack of his own up the touchline. Tries to pop it back on the inside. Not sure he's retained the possession. And it seems to have gone into touch, but the referee says there's a little knock on by the Bishops player after the pop back to the inside. There'll be a scrum St Andrews College put in, and the referee's got on his whistle and he's going to have a chat to one of the players there. He's had his word and he's come back. He's called the players in for a scrum.
It's a right scrum is right down on the far touchline, so a lot of width for St Andrews to use here. They are scrumming around 30 metres out. Good attacking platform. See Ethan Bretzka on the right hand side here sneaking up a little bit, maybe looking to do a bit of a chase and see. Backline from Bishops, well spread out around the field. No man left unmarked here. Fullback has come around, wingers come around. They almost guarantee they leaving the very small blind side open so that they can defend en masse in the middle.
Scrum there, a poor pass to Sam Francis, pop out to Nick Jones. Nick Jones has a bit of a go. Early over the ball. Good clean out by scrum off Janello Johnson. He recovers and he plays on the blind side to Nathan Myberg, who carries strongly.
It's very little movement off the ball here, Jerry, for the St Andrews guys. They sort of seem like they're standing in a position and waiting for something to happen.
Crossfield kick not hit properly by Sam Francis, giving a really easy mark to the left winger there. It's Rupert Holmes. Rupert Holmes with a long kick. Ball is out about 10 metres from the St Andrews 22. Really good effort from Rupert Holmes, looking for touch there. St Andrews again going with the 5-man line out. They do well just to speed things up a little bit at line out time here so that they could get some possession. They just seem a little bit disorganised, but you can't really blame them having lost two key parts of their line out.
I think you're right there, Jerry. Maybe just try and speed it up, and that's a good take.
Better to Mkosi over the top. To Rafferty. It's a good clean out by Sean Conroy. Back out to Sam Francis, who looks to turn the back three, and he's managed to do that in this case. A really good nudge up towards fullback Campbell, who plays back inside to Khan. Kicks crossfield. And it's gone over the top of Gugu Mfazi's head. It's an outstanding nudge from Khan. Fallen back there is Cameron Rafferty. He seems to be a little bit isolated. Oh, now he's going to have a little run on his own, and he could be in big trouble here because there's no one with him.
I'm not sure that was the wisest decision there, but looks like St Andrews have managed to. They haven't kept the ball, they haven't retained it. Bishop's back on the attack. Maybe not the best option there from Rafferty there. Possibly should have used his players with him, but St Andrews have managed
standing work on the ground, and a quick tap from Janssen trying to find some momentum because it's something that they seem to have lost over the last 5 or so minutes. St Andrews working hard to retain the ball here, and Bishops being advanced, not being back 10. Turnover on the ground again from Malibongwe Mkosi, the head boy of St Andrews College, who really has worked his heart out today in the absence of some of his tight 5 partners. Francis with a touch kick, trying to get as many meters as he can, but difficult up the hill into the wind here.
Francis makes sure that he gains about 25 metres or so, and I think he'll be quite happy with that. St Andrews retaining the ball with the line out.
Bishop's player down just on the 10-metre line there, just receiving some attention.
And guys all getting a little bit of water in again. I think the referee will probably call an official water break again in a couple of minutes. But again, everybody taking the opportunity here to get some fluids on board. A couple of discussions by the Bishop's guys in the back there, having a look at the centres and the fullback, having a chat with each other. No doubt discussing what they want to do on the next set piece.
St Andrews hopefully pre-called their line out here. Hopefully they can go quickly and just get a bit of possession, get a bit of momentum going. Something which they haven't seemed to have been able to create in the second half yet, Craig.
A lot more numbers in the line out for them this time as well. It's maybe not a bad idea. Try to suck some of the forwards from Bishops in there. Get the big guys moving around the field.
Throw to the back, Rafferty with a good take.
It's a really
trying
good
to set
take.
up a maul. The maul's well set up. Now can they get some traction? Can they get some momentum?
It's a good counter, well set up from Bishops as well on the counter for them all. Managed to hold it steady and then actually force St Andrews backwards. But St Andrews getting a little bit of momentum now. And again going
Rolls
back up
to the blind side, and I think it's been wrapped up inside
the
there.
referee's going to give that to
Unfortunately,
Bishops. So unfortunately St Andrews not getting that ball out. They set it up really well, and then they were under pressure. Bishops did well setting up their defence, pushing St Andrews backwards on two separate occasions, and St Andrews not managing to get the ball out, not recycling it, getting to the back of that maul, getting wrapped up in the middle. There's a really good hold from the Bishops guys who were contesting.
On Sam! On Sam, Bobo! Come on, Sam! Yeah, good.
Bishop's got their whole back line here on the open side of the field. Their blindside wingers in between the two centres. Possibly a bit of a decoy, but I'm not sure St Andrews have picked this up. Feed from Imad Khan.
St Andrews have left Jones out on the far wing. He's now
Ball
coming
out the
around.
back to Hartzenberg. Show and go, and he's found himself into space, and that's what the blindside wing created, and he's away. Jones now coming across and on the inside to Mazwana. Mazwana managed to do a great try-saving tackle on the try line, and the offload rolls off out into touch.
Again, a really good run there from Hartzenberg, but I think just in front of us here, somewhere around the 10-metre line, he had the option of making the pass. Did the show and go, went on his own. He did make good ground, but he didn't manage to commit to any of the players. I think had he made the pass, taken the tackle, it would have been an easy 2-on-1 finish there for Bishops, and they would have definitely gained a couple of extra points there.
Yeah, again, that's that little bit of finishing missing from the Bishop side, as the referees called the water break. Both sides' coaching staffs getting onto the field, coming to give some advice to the players. I think, again, Bishops will just be asking their team just to hold on to that ball a little bit longer, one more phase perhaps, in order to make sure that they can finish the opportunity and get some more points on the board. St Andrews' coaching staff would be worried at this stage, just too many tackles being missed, too many opportunities being given to the opposition rather than created by the opposition.
I think you're right there, Jerry. The show and go, it's happened many times where there's been 9, 10, 12, 13 from Bishops, a lot of show and go. St Andrews not quite committing to those tackles and then just sort of turning around and having to chase. So they definitely need to stop those guys from making those breaks and turning them around, getting behind them. It's a whole lot more difficult to defend once you're turning back and chasing like that. And then I think from a Bishop's point of view, once they've made those breaks, they should be looking to pass. Just get it off to the guy in a better position. A whole lot of pace, and I know the guys all think that they've got it every time. And they've been close several times, but I think there's been a few opportunities they could have taken a couple more points had the last pass just been there, or had the last pass just been a little. St Andrews getting the last little bit of water, last little bit of advice coming in for these last few minutes now. A lot of these guys will be looking to end their careers on a high, put the last half and a bit behind them, and everybody will be looking for something special from themselves and from their team in these last few minutes to make it count. And if everybody gets that, St Andrews will be right back in this game. Dako
to the put in 5 meters from the St Andrews line. again, looks like a full line out that they've called, yeah. It's a bit of a challenge trying to find jumpers that he hasn't really used all season, or all year, as it's been the limited fixtures. Of course, he again calling on himself. Somehow just tapped back, but Rafferty has managed to get his hands on it again. He does well to hold on to the ball. Looking to carry here is Mazwana. Obviously playing out in the centres today, despite being in the open side flank normally. Back out to Francis, who's looking, and he's charged down. The big in goal. And unfortunately, ball's just gone dead. And so 22 to St Andrews. Sam Francis is taking a bit too long to clear the ball away there. Craig obviously just trying to make sure that he gets it over the defenders at the back here's head. And in doing so, actually created the opportunity for Bishops to charge him down.
I think he's actually probably going there for a whole lot of power in that kick, and you can see that from the charge down. The in-goal area here on lower field is somewhere around 15 metres, so to be charged down outside and the ball to still roll over, there's a lot of power in that kick, so obviously that's what he's looking for.
St Andrews really looking to come up in a straight line and create some chances here. Hartzenberg, little chip over the top. Khan, he's found a lot of space there with his own chip. And Fuzzy with the tackle, pop up to Khan, and Khan's found some more space, even though Rafferty retreats beautifully. Khan under the poles, or just next to the uprights, and that's fourth try for Bishops out here this afternoon, and a great counter attack by Hartzenberg and Khan.
Hartzenberg and Khan have definitely been a thorn in the sides of St Andrews today, playmakers and finishers. Got to put a couple of extra defenders to watch them, which St Andrews have been doing, and that's allowing space for the others. As soon as the defenders are out, they are running right. The two of them have really good games today. Yeah,
they have this ability just to find each other in play as well. They link up with each other so well on counter attack, and St Andrews just giving Hartzenberg a little bit too much time and space to play there. You know, when he's got ball in hand, you really need to rush up and put him under pressure, and they just gave him too much time to make a decision there.
Khan lining up the conversion attempt.
Pulled it away, and that's the second missed conversion by Khan. Score now 24 points to 6, and Bishops just pulling away into their into a bit of a bigger lead here now. Be difficult for St Andrews to come back from this, and it's interesting, Craig. Every time we've had a strat break, after the strat break, Bishops have come away with points, and St Andrews have just looked a bit flat after the strat breaks.
Yeah, the guys are obviously mentally switched on, and they know what they've got to do. Possibly good coaching there, from the coaching staff saying catch the guys while they're sleeping. First team to switch on is the one who's going to benefit, and 100% spot on. They've scored every time coming back from a break. Good kick off there from Francis. Roach took a while, pushing up, ball secured for Bishops.
Khan with the ball out the back to Hartzenberg. He's looking for a touch, and it's another massive punt. Well taken at the back by Sam Francis. He's got Kugum Fuzzy and Nick Jones outside of him. Flat ball to Nick Jones. Carries well. Has found a bit of space up the left-hand touchline.
Jones with a good run. Made some good yards, but unfortunately, guys just running out of space, then getting taken inside into touch and goal there, or into touch by the covering Bishop's defence there.
Excellent little inside-outside there from Jones on the touchline. Just found a bit of space.
Jones has made ground pretty much every time he's touched the ball today. He's made some good tackles. He can be proud of his contributions on the field today.
Ball in, quick ball, Khan out, Roach, short ball to Sherwood. Will show and go from Khan, and again he's found a little bit of space there. Rafferty's missed him on the post. Good tackle by Gugu Mfazi, and the ball's off to Nasser de Kock, who's now run into space himself, and he's handed a man off, and another missed tackle means another try next to the uprights, and St Andrews now looking just a little bit ragged.
Unfortunately, again, just falling for the little show and go right down the middle there, and Khan this time for a change did not link up with Hartzenberg, but he found plenty of other players with him in support, and again St Andrews turning and chasing, and just too many support runners there for Bishops, making the options easy.
Just too many slip first-time tackles, and St Andrews really looking like they're running out of puff here today. Khan lining up the conversion here. The score's 29 points to 6.
Something else to note here, Jerry, coming into the last few minutes, is the number of substitutions that St Andrews had to make already in the first half. So their subs are going to be tired, whereas Bishops did not make any subs in the first half. Their guys will be coming on fresh now. No doubt the coach will start ringing the changes now that you'd expect that the game is won, and he'll be giving all of his touring party a bit of a run now. So we'll see some fresh.
Already there.
We'll see some fresh legs.
Yeah. Bishops have cleared the bench here already, and all the reserves are out onto the field. Pretty much most of St Andrews' bench has been emptied as well. Not through their choice, however, through a number of injuries happened over the course of the last 2 days, actually, yesterday and today. Another high hanging kick from Francis. Chased hard again by Mkosi, really one of the standout forwards today. He's been man alone there. And Francis has been also a pillar here, but again, A and B defenders of St Andrews just not being in the right place and being caught out all the time. A little knock on there. Mazwana trying to pick the ball up. Lane's come around and he's picked it up. Found a little show and go, and he's carried the ball hard into contact. Out here to Mkosi to Myberg with a little pop to Dankwitz, back out to Hepburn. It's a bit of a good skill there from St Andrews for a change. And then we go Francis down the left-hand side. He's got a bit of a space on the outside. He's carried strongly towards the try line, and this is a lot better from St Andrews, suddenly looking like they're wanting to play again. Good carry by Dankwitz. Referee's arms out for advantage. And Mkosi carrying again strongly. Out the back, just dropped by Mkosi, but there's no knock on. Sorry, by Myberg that was.
The referee said that ball's gone backwards, and it gives St Andrews another chance. They've set it up there. First man, it looks like Myberg again. Setting up there, they've secured the ball at the back of the ruck. Oh, and static play.
It's good clean. Dankwitz just trying to create a little bit of width. Yeah, Somani with a carry, trying to get over the try line. Does well to spin there. Needs to release the tackler, does. Now out the back to Lane. Lane with a big skip out wide to Ethan Bretsky, and unfortunately he's dropped it just before he goes through, but the referee will come back for the advantage. Penalty under the poles to St Andrews.
There's some really nice attacking options there to start off that move there by St Andrews. There was a lot of movement off the ball, a lot of want to go forward, bit of momentum given to them by each pass. Everybody was going forward. They were looking really, really good when they had that going for themselves. As soon as there was a breakdown, we had a little bit of static play, guys taking the ball, standing still, and just wasn't quite looking as positive. St Andrews should be looking to keep the ball moving, keep the players moving.
Again, a couple of players down, receiving attention there. I think it's Nathan Myberg, the tight head prop, and St Andrews will be trying to keep him on the field.
St Andrews fullback Gugu Mfazi's come around. He's standing right behind the number 13 here, looking to possibly get into the back line on a set play. Number 11 Jones is also standing right behind Francis at number 10. So it looks like the guys have got something up their sleeve here, obviously a set move that they've been using on the training fields.
Looks like they've opted for the scrum from the penalty and trying to create an opportunity to score. And it looks like Nathan Myberg is going to leave the field. And young Jamie Moore to take the field here. He isn't a tight head, so I don't know if that will mean that we go to uncontested scrums or not. We'll have to see what happens here.
It's really unfortunate that Myberg has come off the field. He's been one of the standout players today. He's played a really good physical game, good skills, good running, good tackling. He's really done his job here today.
Massive call here for Jamie Moore. He hasn't played tight head here for a long, long time. He's done well to give it a go here, though. He's held his own. It's quite good. And the referee's reset as Myberg's gone down on the loose head side there. Sorry, Hepburn's gone down on the loose head side. And they've asked to reset.
A big scrum there from the Bishops guys, pushing St Andrews backwards. St Andrews doing well to stay tight and actually keep the ball secure there, but the referee just wasn't happy. He just wanted to have a reset there. No doubt the Bishops guys are going to take advantage of the fact that they've got a new youngster on the field and try to put him under pressure.
Johnson with the put in. Flat ball to Francis, who popped it out the back to Jones.
Bishop's man has stayed down. The referee has stopped the game really, really quickly. This is not looking good. It's not often the referee stops the game mid-play like that. Can't see who the player is there, Jerry. Can you see who it is?
Not sure if it's Nasser de Kock or Imad Khan. Don't think it's Imad Khan. I think it's Nasser de Kock that went down off the side of the scrum, carrying it into Sam Francis there. Seemed to just get his head on the wrong side of the tackle as he went in to tackle Sam Francis on the pop, and probably just got a nasty little head knock. First aid and the Bishop's team doctor, Doc Huber's on there quickly to make sure that everything's okay with their player.
It's one of the good things which you didn't see back in the days when we were playing, Jerry. Nowadays the schools come with really well prepared physios, doctors, the medics, all top class, so parents out there can be rest assured if somebody goes down, they're getting the best possible attention they can on the side of the field or on the field.
And you can see he obviously just caught Sam Francis on the hip because Sam just got some attention to his hip, just out of shot as well.
Good news is the player is walking off, so there's no massive issues over there. Obviously just a precaution just to make sure that nothing further can happen or get injured, and they'll have a good bit of attention on the side of the field there now.
And Nasser de Kock leaving the field there, obviously just a precaution, taking that head knock. I assume he's been replaced by Kerry, and Kerry might have been on the field, and Vince Craig has headed back onto the field again for Bishops.
Right, so there's a scrum about 10 metres to the side of the middle of the field for St Andrews. They've got a big blind side. If they choose to use it, probably not. All their players' backlines lined up on the right-hand side here. All their players on this side. Obviously not generally a good option to use a blind side on the side where the scrum halves are, but you never know. Sometimes the guys use it as a decoy, as the bluff, and you might find that eighth man does run that side every so often.
St Andrews looking to will try and be quite direct here. They'll try and access the 10 and the 12. Part of the play last time was to try and get outside of the flanker. Nasser de Kock did well to get there. This time they're going to want to look to get outside of him, and I think they have managed to get there. Sam with a little show and go. Ball out to Janello and then into Robbie Price. Robbie Price does well on the carry for a slight man. Ball back out to Malibongo and Kosi. The man is really given his heart and all out there today. And Janello tries a little stab through. He's actually just missed it and knocked it on. And Bishop's going to get the advantage from the knock on. Scrum down 10 metres from their line, right in the middle of the field. And position of the field where Bishops would fancy themselves to actually attack from.
I highly doubt we're going to see a kick out on defence here. I think the exit strategy is definitely going to be a run. They're going to have options both sides right in the middle of the field. And as we've seen already for the whole day, the Bishop's backline is full of running. St Andrews are piling all of their guys over to the left-hand side. So they've left Ethan Bertzke here on the right-hand side on his own. Looks like Sam Francis now come to join him on the side. 4 Bishops players on the right-hand side here as you're looking at it.
Bishops will go to the right-hand side of the scrum because that's where Khan and Hotzenberg are. Little knock on and Lane's chipped it through and he's managed to get hold of it. And there's some very good defence off the side of the scrum. I'm not sure who that was. Might have been Sean Conroy who put Khan under pressure. He dropped the ball. Nick Lane chipped it through, managed to regather and score. And some much needed points in the second half for St Andrews College.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit against the run of play of what the day has been or what the half has been. But the last couple of minutes, maybe the last 5 minutes or so, St Andrews have been camping there. They have been putting pressure on Bishops, and I think they'll feel well rewarded for getting those points there. They've definitely earned them in the last few minutes.
Sam Francis, obviously a little bit of a mix-up with the T in the end, and St. Francis just decided to drop it over, and that's 31 points to 13. St. Andrews College certainly showing that they're a proud team with a lot of fight, trying to stay in the contest. Yeah, a lot of youngsters on the field now for St. Andrews College, guys that will be back next year, gaining some good experience in the last couple of minutes of this game.
It's a fantastic opportunity for a lot of these boys to experience this. Short kick-off, not very well contested. Basically, Bishop stood back and let St. Andrews win the ball there. France with a good run, attempted a little chip, didn't go right. A little bit of a charge, but really good cover there. There's that Google Fazi getting back there, I think. Bishop's full of running over here, putting the moves. None of their players standing still, none of their players taking the ball standing still, and St. Andrews under pressure right on their
Good
right on the try line.
From the forwards, and they've gone again on the blind side, straight into the teeth of the St. Andrews defence, and there's lots of options left and right. Sherwood looking to carry right underneath the poles. Good tackle by Robbie Price. Proper defence, looking for the fold. Show and go from Khan, and he's over next to the ruck again. He really has been the thorn in the side for St. Andrews College over the course of today.
Khan has definitely been the catalyst, done a lot of work himself. He's got a lot of forward momentum for his team, made a lot of good offloads. So he hasn't done all the finishing, but definitely right up before man of the match contention for his team today. Add to that the conversions that he's taking as well. He can be really happy with his trip out to Grahamstown.
They've just out a shot another St. Andrews College player down. On the left-hand side of the uprights, I think it's Lebongo Mazwana, receiving some attention from the physio and the first aiders.
Khan looking to convert his own try here.
Khan with the conversion.
Head down, strikes it well and right through the middle again, moving the score up to 38-13.
And that's the end of the game. Referee Sandile calling an end to it. 38-13 to Bishops. Definitely deserved winners out here today. A very polished team with a very polished performance out here today, Craig.
Yeah, I think the guys from Bishops will be really happy with their trip all the way from Cape Town here. They'll be really happy with the way they played. Momentum was good, their finishing was good after the nerves settled, I think maybe in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game. Each player out there had something special that they did, and as you said, Jerry, looked really polished. It's a well-drilled team. I think the coaching staff can be really happy, and I think that the guys from Bishops can be really happy with, for those who are matriculating, with their last game that they've played in this awesome clash of two great school teams.
Yeah, I'm sure Wes Chetty, Dil Freilich and Sene Esther is going to be very happy with their team's performance out here today. It was a game played, it's got some good open running rugby, game enjoyed by all, and I hope that you people watching online on YouTube have enjoyed this broadcast to you as well. So thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next season.